What's going on, guys? So I am really into the Ninja Turtles and this new series that they've started in 2024. I've been enjoying what I'm reading, so I just kind of wanted to go over everything. I'm going to start with issue 1, and we are currently at time of recording up to issue 9 with 10 right around the corner. So I plan to go through all of them as they come out. So yep, we're going to start with issue 1 here. Now this is more centered on Raph, and he is actually in prison. So as we see here, this is a Return to New York Part 1, and this one is dealing with inmate, and that is Raph, as we will find out here. Over here, we're just getting some inner monologue about how he's in prison. He is in San Quentin, and you know, all the inmates don't seem to take too kindly to him, and that's fine with him. He's a-okay. And here's where we actually get the reveal that it is, in fact, Raph. And I gotta say, I'm not as big of a fan of the do-rag Raph. I know that that's been kind of a thing that he's had recently. I just like the straight-up bandana look. That's just what I've always known, what I've grown up with. I don't really hate the do-rag, but it's just not my favorite. So yeah, he's got his inner monologue going. He's just like, you know, all these guys, they're just looking for a reason to shiv me, and yeah, it's not going to work out so well if they do. And you know, they call for lights out in a cell, and you see he's got all of his books and stuff like that, but he's just, again, kind of thinking to himself. And then he hears some people trying to make a breakaway in the sewers. And that's what these guys are over here. They're guys trying to escape the prison. He goes ahead and puts a stop to them. He's busting them all up, you know, typical Raph fashion. Beating the hell out of them, makes quick and easy work of them. They even try to stab him, but hey, he's got a turtle shell that protects him there, so no big deal. And now one of the guys, before Raph beats him up, he had remarked on, you know, their escape smells like freedom, even though it's the sewers. And Raph is saying, you know, that's not what freedom is. And he's kind of reflecting on his time with his brothers and things like that. You know, definitely missing what they used to have. And so, looks like the warden here noticed that there was some escape inmates that were found, and you know, wants to make sure everybody's accounted for. And you know, Raph is back to his inner monologue and is basically saying, you know, he kind of belongs in prison, you know, for what it's worth. Now we're over here out in the yard, and you know, we see the wardens now coming up to talk with Raph. And we find out here in the next couple of panels that the warden and Raph are kind of working together. And now over here, this is where we get in some exposition. I find it's a little clunky. That's more of the as you know kind of stuff. I feel it could be worked a little bit different to give us this exposition that Raph is kind of looking for crooked, you know, guards, and you know, keep an eye on things like that. I feel like it could be worked a little bit better. Like the warden's like, hey, did you figure out which one of my guys is clean, which ones are dirty? Something like that, as opposed to just flat out explaining everything, because these two know what they're doing. The whole point of this dialogue is just for our sake and telling us what's going on here and why Raph is there. They could have worked that out a little bit without being so blunt, and then we, as the audience, would, you know, put the pieces together. Like, okay, Raph's there because he's trying to figure out which ones are the crooked guards and stuff like that. Now, we have some new inmates coming in, and they're giving an eyeball over there to Raph, or so it appears. Back at night, Raph, you know, he's starting to listen around again, but then he notices something's not all what it seems to be. One of the guards is found dead. And so Raph gets out there, he starts looking around, And oh shit, here we go, ninja fight. So, Raph, he's trying to talk to him. The guys don't want to talk. But he's like, I know exactly who this is. This is the Foot Clan. And so we're getting some fights here. And he's like, I know that this is the Foot, but under Karari, this should not be how things are. It was supposed to be a lot more peaceful. And so he, he's like, these guys definitely have killed before. They're looking to kill again. And now he thinks that it's them, that it's him that they're after. And he's like, oh shit, no, you're probably after somebody else. And makes his way on over, and sure enough, the warden is dead and has Raph's size in his chest. And then, the alarm's been raised, and everybody is now looking at Raph because it was set up. The Foot Clan were there to set Raph up. And Raph's like, well, if they're coming after me here, I bet the other, my other three brothers, they're not safe out there either. So he makes a getaway. Now, I will point out, we got guards on Raph here. Now suddenly he's back in that tunnel. It would have been kind of nice to see how he got out of there, but for the, I'll be nice and say, yeah, the guard probably didn't stand a damn chance against Raph. That's pretty obvious. So I guess, for time's sake, yeah, he got there, and he's making his way, and he's like, I'm gonna go, whether my brothers want to see me there or not, I'm gonna be there for them. And so that's where we're done with Raph. Now, we go back over to New York City, and we're seeing a DA. Looks like he's won. He's being stopped by some police officers. But, oh no, he gets stopped by a guy named Hale. Hale or Haley, I'm not 100%. I keep going back and forth with it. But for right now, we'll just say Hale. It's like, actually, no, it looks like you got drugs. You must have been partying when you were, celebrating your assured victory. Then the cops busted you, and you just couldn't hang with it anymore, so you decided to take a leap. And basically saying, yeah, we're going to kill you, dude, later. And then takes a little tumble. And then Hale says, let Karari know. I'm pretty much, the city's ours. I'm going to win this now. And that is the end of issue 1. And I got to say, we got a pretty strong start. Again, a little clunk in the dialogue, but overall a pretty strong start for series 1. Now, I am currently in the series that started in 2011. I'm catching up entirely. And I'm under the assumption that this, even though this is an issue 1 and we're starting our own new story, this does hold canon with the things that started in the 2011 series, seeing as that one just wrapped up. Now, I still think that you can start with this and piece together what happened in the past. I've already read all 9 issues, and I don't feel too lost. I'm like, okay, certain things happened. We'll get backstory on that later on. But yeah, so far I'm really enjoying what I'm reading, and I am looking forward to reading more. Now, I think that the art is very good. Let me look at my artist here. Joelle Jones, I thought did a very good job here. I don't feel like any, big messaging is going on here. It's just like, hey, we have corrupt government. I don't think that they're trying to lean one way or the other politically, and I'm glad to see that. I don't care about the writer's perspective as far as, who's bad or who's good. Just give me a vague, villain if you're going to get into politics. Don't lead me to think that you're one way or the other. I don't care. And so I think, yeah, this is pretty cool. Now, I don't know why Raph was in there to begin with. It looked like he got into some trouble somewhere along the way. And towards the end of the book, they were saying, hey, there's a little series you can check out as well. to see how he got there. So I'll be sure to check that out at some point in time. But yeah, like I said, strong start. Next one's going to be more focused on Michelangelo. So yeah, I'll be checking that one out here soon and doing a review on that as well. But that is all I have for today, guys. So until next time, take care and God bless.